I'd like to say good morning to the both of you and welcome to the Super Morning Show.
Morning, Varflay.
Hi, good morning.
Great. Let me get to know you first of all. I'll call your name, but you can just introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Aisatu Mbokum. I'm currently doing my second master's at the University of Oxford, the UK, and I'm the first Rhodes Scholar from the Gambia, and I'm excited to be in Liberia for the first time to talk to everyone about the Rhodes Scholarship, and hopefully we will have a potential Liberia Rhodes Scholar, first Liberia Rhodes Scholar.
Okay. Isaac?
Yeah, Varflay, thank you so much. I'm excited to be here, and thank you for hosting us. Asatu is my friend, a colleague. We were privileged in 2021 to be awarded first Liberian, first Gambian to be awarded the Mandela Rose Foundation Scholarship. And we've built some very strong bonds. Currently, I'm here as Executive Director at Educate the Next Generation.
Okay.
We do the Liberia National Academic Excellence Awards. The goal is to shine light on the brightest students. We using the model of Rwanda after the genocide in 1994. There was this education reform policy that was called Bridge to Rwanda that was used as a conduit to transform Rwanda to where it is today. And so we share a similar story with them. So we thought that model was unique and encompass what Liberia has gone through. So the goal now is how do we get most of the brightest students out of the country, which is a challenge, send them abroad or give them local scholarships, so that if a child is 16 years old, at 20 years old, they can have a bachelor's degree if they have support. And at 22 years old, they can have a master's degree, also if they have the support. And the goal is not just to give them the education, but reintroduce them into governance so that they can be, one, having the qualification, two, having the ethics and moral for public service, and they can be able to transform the country. So that model was what Rwanda used and got them to where they are today. And I think Liberia can do that. Yep. We'll have the time to talk about it more, but today, it's more of my friend, Asatu, and I'm excited that she's here. Like you hear it, there's no Liberian who've ever gotten the Rhodes Trust Scholarship. So it's a privilege for us to host
Oxford.
At Oxford also, So we hope that many Liberians will show up. We've had some applicants already, but we hope that many other people who are also not qualified, but can be able to attend the info section and gather information and share with other people. We'll also be excited about that.
So Asatu, tell us more about the Rhodes Trust Scholarship.
So the Rhodes Trust Scholarship is the oldest and most prestigious scholarship in the world. It was started in 1902 and it's been going on for over 100 years now. What they do is they sponsor both master's and PhD programs at the University of Oxford all around the world. So whether you're in Africa, the US, India, anywhere, you can always apply if you meet the criteria to have the opportunity to study at the University of Oxford. So it gives 2 years master's scholarship. So if you're doing a 2-year degree at Oxford, they cover that. If you're doing a 1-year master's degree, you get the opportunity to do a second master's degree, just like I have. I did my first in women's gender and sexuality studies, which I finished last year. And then I immediately started the second in public policy, which I should be done with in September. So if you also want to go straight into doing a PhD, they also sponsor 3 years of your PhD at the University of Oxford. And if you want to do a first master's and not do a second master's but progress into a into a PhD program, they also support you to do a PhD program. So it's very prestigious, supports your stipend all through your study period, supports your educational journey, also creates a lot of social activities on campus to ensure that you're not only learning, but you also have extracurricular activities that you're going and doing at the University of Oxford.
So the scholarship has been around, but why is it most Africans, especially Liberians, don't have access or know more about it?
So that's why I'm here. So it's not about access. I think it's about the information. A lot of obviously we do know of a lot of scholarships wherein people from the continent apply to, but for the Rhodes Scholarship, a lot of people are very wary because the criteria are very strict, and then you have to meet a certain criteria. Some people are like, well, if they're going to give 3, for instance, this year they're giving 3 scholarships to West Africa, they'll be like, if it has to be 3 scholarships, why do I apply? But I always tell people that do not take yourself out of the race, because if I had felt, I felt that way, but if I had not applied, I wouldn't be where I am, right? So it's all about the information, and that's what the Rhodes Trust is trying to do, send as many ambassadors across the continent to ensure that the information is passed across, so that we can have more young people from the continent applying.
Well, Isaac has benefited before. Maybe I can just listen to him about
benefited from the Rhodes Scholarship. You know, there's a difference,
Yeah.
you know, little difference with the Rhodes, Mandela Rhodes, and the Rhodes Trust. But I was having a brief conversation with someone, because the Mandela Rhodes is in South Africa, and the Rhodes Trust is in the UK. But there's a breach in the link, you know, with them, you know, access and everything. So, but it's important to also say, like she said, don't count yourself out, man. Probably there are exceptionally brilliant people here. I was just speaking to one young man called Aaron. Aaron just graduated from Collington. Aaron, I think one of the valedictorians of Collington, 4 point. And Aaron did either environmental science or something. And Aaron was born in 2002. Wow. Imagine Aaron is born in 2002. And Aaron is already earning a bachelor's degree from one of the best universities in the country. But then access to further education becomes a challenge, because pretty much, you know, like many bright students in this country, you know, their parents don't have what it takes to take them to university. And getting that one step to Oxford is a game changer for you, you know. And I think that's why it's important that we stress that, look, regardless of the number, you know, Asad would have gotten the scholarship if she, you know, said, look, I could I will not apply. You know, I remember when she applied, it was a really difficult one. We were already at the Mandela Rhodes Scholarship, and she had to fly from there, and there was a bunch of challenges she went through, you know. But always believe in yourself. And I think we have a golden opportunity. The same golden opportunity we took in 2021 when the Mandela Rhodes never had a Liberian. And then I one day saw the scholarship and I said, look, I think I will apply. And I am the one to get this, you know, breakthrough for Liberia. And good news is, since that year, we've always had scholars. We've had Musa, we've had John Singwe, and we've also mentored a lot of other Liberians this year to also apply. So now, since we've never had a Rhodes Trust scholar, it's important for Asatu to say, look, get up. Put yourself together. You can do it.
She's ambassador.
You know, you can do it. And who knows, you could be our ambassador. You know, you're just one step away. You have the qualification. Most of you have the qualification, and you just need to trust yourself and get it going. You know.
So Asatu, you're in Monrovia. You're in Liberia. Tell us, how do you get about letting brilliant students and competent students know about this scholarship? What do we start from? Seeing here the info session. Tell us more about that. You and
so I'm going to be working closely with Isaac. I think Isaac has done a brilliant job before I got here. Isaac has been my friend since 2021. So I was like, guy, I'm coming to your country. You need to make it happen. And I also see the amazing job he's doing with his non-profit, his amazing Educate the Next Gen. And I was like, you know what? Let's make this happen. So he has managed to bring together some applicants who have showed interest in the info session, and that's what we'll be doing tomorrow, wherein I'll get the opportunity to just talk to them, share more information about the scholarship, tell them about the criteria, the application process, what they get if they're selected as Rhodes Scholars, and most importantly, what to expect when they get to Oxford. And I'll also have the opportunity to answer all of the questions that they may have, because sometimes, in as much as you read online and you see all the information, you still have certain questions that might be left unanswered. And I will be there to just guide them and give them all the answers to their questions as much as possible.
Okay, so Isaac, in
addition to that, Varflay, we've tried to, proud to Hoyravel, we've sent out recruitment link to just know who are interested, who meet the criteria, but also we've said, look, even if you don't meet the criteria today, don't shy away, because there's someone you know that could meet the criteria and don't have access to this information. So we've sent up the application link. We've had over 85 persons that applied. Pretty much we're looking between, 20, 25, 30, 35, but if we can get a full house, it's something that we appreciate. So of that number we can clearly say we have over 25 persons who meet the criteria. People who meet the criteria. Yes. We have over 85 persons that have applied. express interest. Oh, I want to attend and stuff. But if you're looking at, okay, all of these people apply, how many of them are capable of actually making the application? We have about 25. Yes, we have about 25 of them that are already got everything it requires to be to put up a good application. So we're hoping we can see them tomorrow. The program is at our campus, and we're having it at 12 noon. We are hoping that we don't do Liberian African men time. You know?
for how many?
It's just 2 hours. Okay. 2 hours event. You can also come there probably. You know, come there also. So we have about 2 hours, and we just get them there. She will speak to them. We're hoping that they can be in for security check, signing in, and everything by 11:30. So that's sharp 12 we start, right? But then this is also a public court. Right, I remember my friend Wanto text me in the morning. Wanto is also a friend, and he's very excited. He thought he would have been here for the program as well. But then he was saying, do we need to make another push? I said, let's make another push. Let's ensure that people who have not heard about this get to the hall tomorrow and have access to this opportunity.
Asatu, so the goal is 25 that potentially could be winners of this scholarship. I mean, what do you look for in an applicant, for example?
So the Rhodes Trust is looking for academically brilliant young people. So they're looking for at least first class graduates, that is above 3.7 and above. So like Isaac said, we have gotten people who have that qualification among the ones that have showed interest for the info session. And it also does not only look at academics, it's very, very interested in what you're doing for your community. Who are you as a person? What have you contributed in your community, and how has that changed the life of other people? So it's also very interested in impact, that is social impact. What have you been doing? What are you still doing? And what will you continue to do after you have gotten the scholarship or after you have graduated from Oxford? And I think another thing that it looks for is sportsmanship. That's not very, very critical, but then it's very interested in people who are interested in sports, are just doing other academically interesting stuff, in arts, in poetry, just something creative, whatever it is. It also looks for that in the application process. But most importantly, you need to meet the criteria of being a first class graduate. And the reason for that is because you cannot get into an Oxford University program if you do not have a first class for most of the programs. That is the master's or PhD programs that they offer. So the Rhodes want to make sure that at least you're not planning to fail. So when you have a first class, it's easier to get into any master's degree in Oxford when you win the scholarship.
Okay. And so after the info session, what's next?
I mean, that's where ETM comes in. She's going to be busy, and we've done this over and over and again. And this is a free service we've provided. Over and again, we've gathered young people because our interest is to not just identify the brightest young people, but also try and strive to provide opportunities for them. So with the Mandela Rhodes Scholarship Program, we've gathered a group of young people in partnership with the South African Embassy, and we've launched that application, that info section. And what we've also done is to drive them through the joining of application, because there's one thing to be brilliant, 3.7, 4 point, but there's another thing to write your story in a convincing way, So that's where we come in. So our intent as Educate the Next Generation is to also walk through the joining with these people, to look at their application, look at their essay, look at their personal statement, be able to fine-tune it, so that it appeals to what is required. And so that's the journey we're going to be going through, because you're going to go through this info section, and after that we'll get them in a group chat, and then that group chat now will be where, look, send me your application or send me your essay, send me whatever you've written, so that we see it, and then we can be able to put our fingers into it and see how it comes out as a Liberian thing, So yeah, we're going to try to do that.
So essentially, they will be guided through the application process.
Yes.
By Educate the
Next Gen, which is on ground, but she will also provide all the necessary resources that is required to also support their joining, so that is, so that they push for success.
So in the entire West Africa, Asatu, Ross looking for how many? Three.
Yeah. So
and why the focus in Liberia?
That's a good.
How many person Liberia can offer here?
I mean, I cannot say for sure. Like I said, they have to apply and see if they qualify. Because what the process is that when you apply, you get shortlisted. After you get shortlisted, you do your first round of interviews. After your interviews, you get to the final stage. And for the final stage, you travel to Nigeria, which is where I went to, and do your final interview. That is in person with a panel. And after doing your interview, that's when you'll announce the winner, if indeed you win. And then you have to now wait for September, around September, December, when Oxford opens the application. Then you apply for any program you want to do in Oxford. And then when you get into that program, you start planning for next year, September, that is next year, fall, to start your program in Oxford. So it's 3 scholarships in the whole West Africa. And I can tell you that a lot of people do apply, especially from Ghana and Nigeria, because that's a very huge demographic, and they know a lot about the scholarship. So most times in the finalists, you see a lot of Nigerians, you see a lot of Ghanaians. So that's what the Rhodes Trust want to necessarily expand, to make sure that we're also having other West African countries in the finalists, like Liberia. For instance, from here, I'm going to Ghana on Wednesday. I'm having some Ghanaians, having some Gambians. Then I'm going to Gambia right after Ghana. We also have other ambassadors who are going to Togo and all the likes. So we're spread across different places to make sure that we have a diverse pool of finalists for the program.
My instinct is telling me that the Rhodes Trust Scholarship wants scholars from Liberia by all costs.
I mean, well, that's a good instinct. Hopefully, we do get finalists. I think they want finalists from everywhere. They want. For last year, I was in Togo, and then I was in Sierra Leone, which is just your neighbor. So I think the bet is to have finalists at least from as many West African countries as possible, so we don't have a concentration in only one place. Gambia also, since I applied, we have not had a finalist from the Gambia. So I've been trying a lot to make sure that when I do all these rounds of just outreach, I also go to the Gambia and I do the same amount of outreach in my country.
And what is important, Varflay, is, I always say the Liberians, let's stop shying away from competition. When you get 3 persons in the whole of West Africa, and you look at Nigeria alone, the population, how many young people there that made the qualification and say I shouldn't apply, But Liberia, over and again, we've said, holds a unique story. Right? If you start to tell someone about the harsh reality of Liberia, 14 years of civil crisis, Ebola, and then the COVID and everything, and how stagnated things has been, it gave much more an appealing story. And every time I tell people, if we were to write a story of Liberia as compared to most West African countries, Liberia might be a place of concentration, So that should give you all you need to care stuff, to get up and say, let me make a try. It's never wrong to try. Give it a try. Regardless of the 3, you could be one.
Okay. Will you be accepting observers just to come and observe the info session, or you just those who have qualified to attend, potential applicants for the scholarship are the ones will be allowed in the hall?
No, I think observers can come. Okay. I think, like I said in the introduction, observers, why it's important also is because we take observers in the context of people who don't directly meet the qualification. But people who might know people who meet the qualification. So, for example, you will say, oh yeah, I'm above the age limit and everything, but I have some young people that I'm working with and they don't have access to this opportunity. So you attend and then you provide them the support, right? So we take you in that context as an observer. But again, if you want to come there as a media practitioner and you're interested in the program and you feel like, okay, this year it came late, next year I can put more push, so let me come and learn about the program as well, you're also welcome.
Okay. This is the Super Morning Show. You're listening to ELBC. My guests are Isaac Mwapo. He's the executive director of Educate the Next Gen. We'll be hosting an info session about the Rhodes Trust Scholarship alongside Mrs. Asatu Bakum at our campus.
Our campus
tomorrow at what time?
12 o'clock.
12. You can take advantage. So let's get calls. Call us on 0770581886. 0770581886 if you want to know more about if you have questions about the info session tomorrow at our campus at 12 tomorrow. So what's the goal, Asatu? What's the goal here? What's the goal of all this? Is it to countries are recipients of the Rhodes Trust Scholarship in West Africa?
I mean, we do have recipients from West Africa, like I mentioned earlier.
Let me hold you there and just take this
Okay.
caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's the name?
My name is Aloysius Story. I'm calling from New Church.
Yeah, let's hear you, Aloysius.
Yeah, I heard you go talking about scholars. Actually, I don't have access.
You say you don't have access?
I don't have access on it. I don't have access. I don't have knowledge.
Oh.
How to apply, how to get it.
Oh, okay. Anyway, but you can be an observer for you can go to our campus tomorrow at 12 and just observe the process. All right? Okay. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Varflay.
Good morning. What's the name?
My name is Myers. I'm calling from Wuhan this morning.
Yeah, let's hear you, sir.
So I want to thank you for your studio guests. They are doing well. We hope that many are blessed can take anything. I want to find out why the study is only for masters and not for undergraduate also.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So he wants to know if the scholarship is just for masters.
Yeah, it's just for masters and the PhD. It does not cover undergraduate programs. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it how it's been?
I mean, that's how it's been since its founding. It covers masters programs and then it covers PhD programs, but not undergrads.
And is it only at Oxford or?
Yeah, so when you get selected a Rhodes Scholar, you have to apply to a program at the University of Oxford. So you can only study at the University of Oxford because that's where the scholarship itself is situated, and that's where we have what we call the Rhodes House.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I think we can take a call too. Yeah, you were saying something about.
No, I was saying that so we've had finalists from across West Africa, but we have had winners also. So as of last year, we've had only 2 winners a year. So they have pushed very hard to make sure that they add an extra finalist, that is like an extra scholarship to the West African scholarship. So instead of 2, now we have 3 that will be Rhodes Scholars. For instance, this year, if you do apply, you get the chance to be part of the 3 Rhodes Scholars who will be coming to Oxford to study. So we do have West African finalists and winners. We've had that across the previous years still, but what I'm saying is that we have not had an extensive, diverse pool of young people coming from different countries in the West African region. So what we're trying to do now is to make sure that we have more people. For instance, in my year, I was the only finalist from the Gambia. Everybody else was from Ghana and we're from Nigeria. So we're trying to make, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying that the scholarship is for West Africa, and we want to make sure that we have as many countries being represented as much as possible. That includes Liberia, that includes Sierra Leone, that includes Togo, on and on we go.
Yeah. So Isaac, I mean, given the number of applications that you got, you think Liberians are showing interest?
Of course, Liberians are showing interest, and not just the interest, but I think Liberians are qualified, to get into that program. I've always believed in Liberians. I think we have a great generation of bright people, right? And look, they just need a push. They need to trust themselves. They need, when people hear Oxford, Oxford, this is Oxford, this is Oxford. But we have a Wonto that is in Oxford.
Yeah.
And I remember it will look 10 years back, Wonto and I were eating lababido from 24th Street, to very happy UC community. Wonto and I used to go to quiz for Caribou days and everything, So if Wonto could get into Oxford, Wonto of yesterday, Wonto never had some of the great education in the beginning stage, like some of the young people who are in Cottington today, So if Wonto could go through in Oxford and achieve what he continued to achieve, I think many other young people can achieve the same. All you need to do is to believe in yourself, is to say, look, I'm going to take this as an opportunity and I'm going to give it my best. And that's why we are here to not just look at you struggle on your own, but we're also here to help you and support you and say to you, Lord, that we believe in you. And if no one else believes in you, we believe in you and we want you to succeed. That's why we're here to help you.
Okay, so we have to wrap up. I'll just before Asatu.
Yeah.
So
again, it's to say we expect to see all of you, those who have applied. You receive email of acceptance, and we expect to see you tomorrow at 11:30 at our campus. I'm sure almost everyone knows our campus. If you don't know our campus is up Carey Street. It is after the keke parking normally, you find us, right? That's where our campus is. Also, if you want to attend and you don't have access to you never have access to the application portal, you want to attend and you want to be on the server or whatever, you can also call me and I can show you direction 770-046-553. But we expect that everyone will be there tomorrow and we expect to have a great time. We want to say thanks to Luther from our campus for also accepting to host us, and we're really excited to see everyone tomorrow.
Okay, Asatu?
Yeah, it's been a pleasure to be in Liberia. I think I've always wanted to be here, and having the opportunity to come here under the umbrella of Rhodes is very exciting. And I look forward to seeing as many people tomorrow, answer all of the questions you may have, clarify any doubts, and hopefully, like I said again, we might have a Liberia Rhodes scholar.
Yeah.
So
it's not a guarantee that if you attend the info session, obviously you're going.
No, it's not a guarantee.
Yeah.
You
No.
have to apply. You have to apply. Yeah.
You have to apply. And what we also try to do, Varflay, maybe you can help with that. We also want to make our e-librarian foods before she so that she don't just come here and eat the same thing she eats in Oxford. She got a college eating, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, my brother.
These are my
you.
guests, Asatu Bokum and Ase Mwapo. They've been here talking about the Rhodes Trust Scholarship. You can attend the info session tomorrow, 12 maybe, especially for those who applied and been accepted to attend the info session. You're going to be guided on how to, complete your application for the scholarship and be successful to attend the University of Oxford in London. My name is Varflay Kamara. Next up, I'll be speaking with the Director General of the Liberia Intellectual Property Office on the Super Morning Show.